Okay. I, let me say this. I do not have to play a sport or be a rapper to be of value. There are some black people who, I guess because they're anti-intellectuals, they don't relate to intellectuals or whatever, so they don't value intellectuals. There are some black people like that, so they glorify, and they always got that person's name and these people's name in their mouths. They glorify athletes and rappers. Now, there's nothing wrong with liking athletes and rappers, but white people like more people than just athletes and rappers. But I noticed there are certain black people, they better not call themselves pro-black. You can name every rapper and every athlete, but you can't name any black person in the Senate. You can't name any black historical figure or anybody black who was killed during the 1900s because of during a race riot or something. It's like if it's somebody black and they wrote a book, your asses don't know who the fuck that is. Like, you sitting up here and you like rappers, but you can't name anyone from the cast of Hamilton. Oh, those people don't count. You know why? Because they're for intellectuals, and you don't give a fuck about intellectuals. You count. You count. Basically, it's that mentality that some black people have. They like to pretend like HBCUs don't exist. You got that the GED people mentality that if somebody went to college, somehow they're not as important as you. Or those black people, they're not really black. They don't count. I went to Hampton. There was a lot of black people there from all over the world. Those fucking people count. It's just really, when you sit up there and you talk to me out of the blue about somebody from sports, you got their dick in your mouth. You got their dick in your mouth. I don't give a fuck if you are a man. If you always name dropping people from sports or, a rapper, you got their dick in your mouth. Like, good Lord. I mean, I guess I'm wearing a Duck Girl shirt. I made this shirt. Maybe that's because I've always been the person that some people were jealous of, because I always just did my own shit. I mean, I looked up to people, but goddamn, they're not going to disrespect me and they're not going to step on me. But it's really sad that as a black person, you can never rely on black people. If you get famous off of anything intellectual, like a book, or let's say you made a tabletop game or an RPG or what have you, anything that's slightly intellectual, you can ask Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, it's like white people know about it first. White people knew who Neil deGrasse Tyson was first. Neil deGrasse Tyson has been animated with Sailor Moon in them over what he said about Pluto. But it's just really, really sad when you have uneducated people telling you that you are not important because you're not a rapper and you don't play basketball or you don't play football. Yes, we have black people playing hockey now, but they don't acknowledge that. It's always got to be you got to be able to play basketball, football, or be a rapper or something, or you're not important. And you got to be on Jimmy Kimmel. You can't go on Colbert. Kimmel's better than Colbert. The fuck do you mean Kimmel's better than Colbert? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, well, Kimmel does the NBA Finals. You sucking a lot of dicks with that statement. You sucking a lot of dicks with that statement. Well, Kimmel does the NBA Finals. Oh, and the King and Queen of Britain will be there to watch it. So stately and so important to the existence of society. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody has to like that shit. Nobody has to like that shit. Yeah, there's people that like that shit. There's people that like anime too. You don't get to tell them You don't get to tell them, Sport Billy. You don't get to tell people that they're wrong because they like watching anime instead of watching the basketball game. You don't get to tell people that. That's bullshit. It used to be a time when it was cool to be nonconformist. It used to be cool back in the 60s and the 70s to be different. Like Prince in the 80s. He was different. He was different from other black people. And it was accepted because he was good at what he did. Jimi Hendrix was different. He was accepted. Oh, I'm sorry. Jimi Hendrix was accepted in Britain. He wasn't accepted by Americans, by the way. Just like Josephine Baker wasn't accepted by Americans. She had to go to France. Hell, Clint Eastwood didn't blow up till he went to Italy. So, again, you know, it's kind of sad that you got to go all the way to, you black, you're African American, you got to go all the way to Britain to be accepted as you know, I don't want to use the word mainstream to cover that, but to be accepted as, you know, top tier, you know. It's weird being the Reed Richards of your area and you have somebody that's not that intelligent telling you that you're not important because you don't play basketball or you don't rap. You're not famous, so you're not important. Oh, okay. It's really sad because you don't need those people. Let me frame it like this. Let's say I was Asian American. Let's say I'm Filipino American, and I'm doing something. I'm trying to show all these Asian people what I'm doing, and they don't want to fuck with me. Oh, okay. I guess I'm gonna fail in America because me as an Asian artist, the other Asian people aren't gonna support me. I wonder what I need to do. These silly motherfuckers that sit up there and try to tell you you're not important, they are not the gatekeepers. They are not the people that you go through to become successful or wealthy. There are tons and tons and tons of people who are super fucking rich and have millions of fans, and a black person in America cannot name that motherfucker. Just like I'm saying, imagine me as an Asian person doing something artistic and the other Asian people don't want to support me, but then I still become very famous and successful without those people helping me. What does that tell you? The people that don't value you, they don't fucking matter. You ever notice that the people that are always trying to be, they're trying to be pompous? The uneducated people are trying to be pompous. Okay, so the uneducated people, the people that didn't go to college, are trying to be pompous. You ever notice that all kind of shit like Star Wars and Star Trek, they don't go see those movies, and those movies are worth like those franchises are worth billions of dollars. It's always those people that shit on Star Wars and Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and all that. Well, that's bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. But it's worth $8 billion. It's $8 billion worth of bullshit. It's like the third or fourth week and Deadpool and Wolverine's out and you didn't go see it yet? You know what that says to me? When I put out my shit, I will not be marketing to motherfuckers like you. It don't make no goddamn sense. This movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, makes $1 billion. It is the top grossing R-rated movie of all time. And these motherfuckers didn't go see it. The arrogance. The arrogance. What were you doing? Watching a basketball game?